He wants to hear your voice when you're apart. He doesn't change his attitudes towards you after sex. He compliments you non-physically. He's open and vulnerable with you. He respects your inconvenient boundaries. He listens attentively. He remembers the little things that you say to him. He proactively makes future plans, and he prioritizes you during tough times, including making time for you. A bit of a tongue twister for that last one. Welcome to the video. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we're talking 9 ways to tell a man is emotionally attracted and connected to you, not just physically. Let's start with number 1. He wants to hear your voice when you're apart. The key words here are voice and apart. Voices are how we connect. Text may as well be a rock with scribbles on it. That's how much we connect to it. We've been scribbling on rocks since the dawn of time, but we connect to humans through voice. Now, the key part here is also that you are apart. So it's one thing for him to want to hear your voice when you are together, but if he's making the effort when you're not around, when you guys aren't in the same place, he's calling you, he's voice memoing you, he's connecting with you over video call. He wants to keep that connection up when sex is literally impossible. That shows he's emotionally attached and connected to you and very emotionally attracted to you. Number 2 is his attitudes towards you don't change after sex. This one kind of goes without saying, and certainly there's pros and cons to having early sex. Most clients, the cons outweigh the pros, but there's certainly a proportion where the opposite is true. If a guy's attitude doesn't change after sex, it's obviously a pretty great green flag that, okay, well, that didn't matter. He's here for the right reasons. And by the way, this needs to be true for you as well. Of course, we all get a little bonded after sex. It's inevitable. But to the best of your ability, he needs to wake up next to a woman who had the same standards as the one he went to bed with, or who has the same standards as the one he went to bed with. So make sure you don't give him all these allowances and flexible boundaries that you wouldn't have given him before you had sex. Number 3, he compliments you non-physically, not on a physical basis. You're so kind. I love the way you work on yourself. You're so cute when you sleep. I guess that one's a little bit physical. I love the way you communicate. I love the way you get vulnerable and share your feelings. I love how passionate you are about your hobbies. These non-physical compliments show that he's connecting with the deeper parts of you, and he's connecting with the feelings that you have and the emotions that you have around the things that you do. It's these little human nuances that bond us to another human being. So if he's complimenting you on those, it's a strong indicator that he's emotionally attracted to you, not just physical. Number 4 is he's vulnerable with you, as in he opens up to you in a way he doesn't open up to most people or maybe anyone else. He shares with you something that deeply affected him, something that's important in his life, something that's making him sad, something that's hurting him, something he feels vulnerable about, something he feels insecure about. One of the best places you can be as a woman is you kind of become a guy's safe space to vent and for him to explore emotions in a place where he's not going to feel judged for having them. So if you can be that for a masculine man, he's going to not only really appreciate you for it, but he's absolutely going to bond to you emotionally, because you are almost like in Harry Potter, his secret keeper. You're the one that holds his heart, and no one else gets to know how vulnerable he is in that space. So that's a very powerful sign he's emotionally bonded to you. Number 5, he respects your inconvenient boundaries. Oh, big one. One of the first things I have clients do when they join my program is put down all their boundaries. We have about 80 of them, and we make sure they're delivered in a socially intelligent way and that they're done with finesse that makes the guys want to come closer. But you can't do any of the boundary setting stuff if you don't even know where the boundaries are to begin with. So for example, I'll have clients write 12 boundaries for before a first date, as in when you're just texting, when you haven't even met yet. 12 boundaries for a first date, 30 boundaries for the second to fourth dates. It doesn't mean you show up with a list, but it does mean you know roughly where they are so that you can enact any you need to using your feminine energy and using your finesse. The important part here is when a man receives it, how does he respond to it? Because if your boundary is convenient to him, then of course he's going to be able to put on a good show. But when your boundary is inconvenient, when your boundary goes against something that he wants, that's when the real test is. That's when the rubber really hits the road and things get interesting. So at some point, if you have more boundaries, you're more likely to have one that's inconvenient to the person in front of you. By the way, I'm not saying set up pointless, ridiculous boundaries here. I'm just saying know where your boundaries are in a bunch of different areas. Frequency of texting, what conversations you're okay with, how much of a planning in advance time you need, stuff like that is all great little ways to learn to lightly and playfully set effective boundaries. So anyway, when you come across one that is inconvenient to him, you will see the truth of the situation, because, a guy can respect your boundaries. Let's say that you don't want to order a certain plate of food, or you want him to arrive on time, whatever. But then if he really wants to have sex with you and you don't want to have sex with him, well, you're going to see how he responds to that boundary. Okay. So look at how someone responds to your boundaries. It's basically one of the biggest demarcations of love, but it really needs to be at a time where your boundaries are not something that is convenient for him. It's a pain in the butt for him. It gets in the way. It's not what he wanted. When you set those boundaries, you see who is connected to you emotionally. Number 6, he listens attentively. So any of us can sit there and wait for our turn to speak, but the listening I'm talking about is where he's truly engaged. He's actually present with what you are saying. He's processing it, imagining himself in that reality and how it would feel, and then he's feeding it back to you, paraphrasing in a way that makes you feel heard and understood. It's such a simple skill, and yet one not many of us have. So we get stuck in these patterns where we're just waiting for our turn to talk. But when he's really sitting there and he's really listening and empathizing and feeding back, and you can tell he's truly present, strong sign he's emotionally connected to. Number 7 is he remembers the little things. So you say to him that you have a favorite bagel or a favorite coffee or a favorite song or a favorite tree, or could be a favorite anything, something you like. Usually it's a favorite something, and he remembers that and he acts on it. He does something small, he figures something out, takes a little action. Whatever it is, you know that something you said to him, something small, got picked up, and now he brings it back later to give you something that makes you feel great. That's a really good sign a guy's emotionally connected to you, because you know that if he's doing those things, it's not just about the sex, it's not just about the physical. He's really listening and engaged to what you're saying. He's picking up on it and he's acting on it. Huge green flag. Number 8, very important one as well, is he proactively plans for the future. So you want someone, of course, I'm not talking about love bombing where you show up on the first date and he's telling you about the marriage. Ugh. I'm talking about, hey, where is our relationship going to be in 6 or 12 months? What's our plan for the next 6 to 12 months? Hey, we've been together, 5 years now. Where are we at in 5 years? What do you hope to achieve? What do I hope to achieve? Let's plan together so we can be a team. These difficult conversations can sometimes be scary for men, because at the start, it's all fun and games. We're just talking about the future. It's very exciting. But the conversations start to add more pressure after a time because, well, you're talking longer and longer periods ahead, and maybe the honeymoon phase is over. So really, I guess I'm talking a little bit more in the relationship phase with this one than the dating phase. Dating phase, it can be great too, but the relationship phase, especially after that initial chemistry is worn down, when a man is really planning a proactive future with you, yeah, that's good news. Good green flag. It means he's faced any fears of commitment he has, and he's moving towards making you feel safe for the rest of your lives together. At number 9, big important one, he prioritizes you during the tough times, including moving his schedule around. This is a tricky one, I think, for a lot of men to navigate, because we need to make sure we're there for our partners. At the same time, sometimes we need to go, oh, how much can I move here before I lose myself? And a man having the confidence that he's not going to lose himself and making sure that, yes, I can still support my wife or my partner or my girlfriend, whoever it is, just being there for you during those tough times, and him being able to read that, hey, this is a tough time for you. This is where I need to move myself or change myself. Him having a good sense of that, that's a clear sign he's emotionally connected to you. Because if he wasn't doing that, you'd make the assertion, okay, he's not connected to me. We're not relating to each other here. I feel the disconnect from him. Versus when he is able to pick up on that, you're going to feel safe. You're going to feel comfortable with him. And ultimately, he's going to have a very happy marriage with you, or a happy relationship with you as a result. So there you are, 9 ways you can tell a man is emotionally connected to you and attracted to you, not just physically. Have you experienced one of these, or have you not? Let me know in the comment space below. Otherwise, if you want to book a call with my team, we can work on your current relationship, or we can work on getting you an amazing new one. Let me know. The link to book with my team is in the description, and I'll send you on through to me. Otherwise, hit the subscribe button with the little bell. Leave a thumbs up there. Otherwise, hit the subscribe button with the little bell. Give the video a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one very soon.